blame, you mad it.
I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a middle P. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some me should stick it in the bull. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a middle P. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some me should stick it in the bull. E-pop got me waiting 3 more hours. Sticking all these years higher than a tower. Having all these nodes feel like superpowers. Investing all this bread, never been a coward. Call me Mr. Bond, money in the vault. I stay in the farm, feeling like the gold. Don't worry about the haters, got the detonator. I'll kill in every market, call me Terminator. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a metal P. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some me should stick it in the bull. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a metal P. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some me should stick it in the bull.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I'm the team lead here, and this is our live AMA. We are now doing our AMAs twice a week to give a bunch of updates on the protocol. Again, today's a little bit weird, too, for our international participants. Here in America, we celebrate daylight savings, so it may be an hour later for you, but this is going to be the time moving forward, 6:45 Eastern. U.S. time, Mondays and Thursdays. So, with all that being said, we have another jam-packed episode today. I'm joined by my fellow team member and co-host with the most, LA. LA, how are you today?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm feeling amazing and excited for another great AMA.
Yes, absolutely, LA. We got a lot to go over, as usual. Again, when we do it twice a week instead of once a day, we have to jam a little bit more into these AMAs. But should be a good one. And we're gonna start off with just some overall market sentiment. I mean, for those of you again that are following crypto on a full-time basis, things are looking good. I mean, again, all this in this AMA is not financial advice. Obviously, there's risk associated with crypto and our project and DeFi in general. But that being said, I think that we're looking good. I mean, I know there is some talk of it being a bull trap, which essentially means a fake pump to see some more new lows. But I've said this in many of the AMAs over the last few months. I think we're much closer to a bottom than we have been previously. So, and really for me, and this again, just personal opinion, I judge a lot of crypto movements based on not only market sentiment, but around the Bitcoin halving as well. So typically, again, the Bitcoin halving drives bull runs, and we've seen that play out from the beginning. And it just makes sense in terms of simple, economics of supply and demand. If the supply of the emissions of Bitcoin are going to be cut in half, and there's the same demand, if not more, that is just a recipe for the price to go up. And obviously, again, personally speaking, I'm an ETH maxi. I think there's a lot more upside potential in Ethereum than Bitcoin. But Bitcoin, no doubtedly drives the market overall. So until we see a true decoupling, I think that we just have to rely on the moves that Bitcoin makes to determine the overall crypto landscape. And, I know that there was a lot of drama, with some banks that have been failing. And really, to me, that's bullish for crypto. I mean, that is everything that we've said of why we're all here, to get away from the dirty fiat, and into Bitcoin and into, crypto. This is a great narrative for us to follow on why we don't trust the bank. So again, really exciting times, and I think over the next few months into the end of the year, we could definitely see you know a bit of a recovery and get into a bull run hopefully. And again, for those that haven't really experienced a full bull run, you'll know. I mean, everybody and their brother will be telling you they're getting rich. It only lasts for a few months, usually peak bull run. And when you have that euphoria of, everything that we've been preaching over the last year, year and a half, finally come to life, that is when you want to start taking profit, and really, set yourself up for the future. And now, times like now, is where you accumulate. Again, the adage is millionaires are made in bear markets because that is when you're able to actually accumulate all of these assets at very, very depressed prices. So that was just a quick little update. Again, all my personal opinion for what that's worth. Again, just being in crypto for so long, you see these things play out over and over. So, LA, anything you want to add to that, or anything you think I should kind of dive into more before we get to some updates?
Not that I can think of. I think you did a good job of just kind of starting us off with that.
All right, awesome. And yeah, please, by all means, if you do have a question or want me to address anything during this AMA, please leave a question or comment on the YouTube page. That's really the best way for me to see it and to help us drive the engagement as well. So again, please like, comment, and subscribe here on YouTube as we continue to grow. And all advertising revenue from YouTube, because we are a YouTube partner now, all of that will go to buy and burn EMP. So it's been a slow start, but I'll be doing an update hopefully at the end of this month with the next payout and the transaction of us buying and burning that EMP. So all right, so another big part of the updates lately has been L1X. So if you're not familiar with what L1X is, please go and do some research. Yabonks just dropped 2 videos today. This was a pre-recorded AMA that we did with him. I've been talking about it for a few days. Now he finally was able to get it out. And there are 2 versions. One is a 24-minute version that highlights our main conversation, and the other is a massive 3.5-hour AMA, a record for me personally. I don't think it's a record for Alex or Yabonks. The dude is a beast. I mean, he can do long form content like nobody's business. I think his record is like 12 hours on being on a live stream. But 3.5 hours is literally everything you would ever want to know about L1X. We go down all the different tributaries as well. So if you have the time, please consider watching it. But if not, there is a 24-minute version that highlights everything that we've been over. So go show him some love. Always does a really, really deep dive into everything. And he is a developer by background. So he asked a lot of really in-depth questions in terms of how L1X is accomplishing, everything that they're setting out to do. It was myself, Machu, and Jake from Dex Finance. Machu had to leave about halfway through, but again, lots of great info from him in that first hour and a half. So, all right, definitely go show some love. But as I was saying, that's about L1X. And L1X is a brand new layer 1 chain that is launching this summer. And we have seen the momentum really start to pick up. So, as of today, we've raised over $1.1 million for L1X. And it's been about 100 grand a day over the last few days. So, and the big news with that, today at least, is that we are officially extending the pre-sale. So I know a lot of you had asked for, a little bit more time to get some paychecks in or move some money around. So we did get the official word today from L1X that our pre-sale and the KYC whitelist presale through L1X directly. Both of them will be extended until March 31st. So that is the absolute 100% deadline. So again, we had said March 14th, which would be tomorrow, but we are extending it to March 31st. I can absolutely say it will not be extended beyond that. So they have commitments that they have to abide by. We can't leave the presale open indefinitely. And honestly, I think with the appetite that they've seen on their side, as well as what we've seen from our side, in the next few weeks, I think we can easily get to that $10 million hard cap total. So again, just prepare yourselves and try not to let the FOMO take over, but you are running out of time and get it in while you can. So all right, that was the two big updates with L1X and some of our AMAs. Again, we've had some awesome AMAs drop. We have a few more in the pipeline. I know LA is in the middle of scheduling a private AMA, hopefully this week, and then a few more. And if there's a YouTuber that you like that we haven't done an AMA with, please reach out to us or reach out to that YouTuber. Or again, maybe it's a Twitter account or a private group. We'd be more than happy to arrange that. So we'd love to hear from you on that front as well, as we have a few more weeks now to continue the marketing efforts. So all right, again, LA, anything you want to add to that, or anything else we want?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'll just say, yeah, when we made the announcement in the group, people seemed really excited about the extension. I know a lot of people had been waiting on yearly or quarterly bonuses to come in, or paychecks and stuff. So I think there's a lot of excitement around that extension. So we shall see some fireworks.
Yeah, absolutely, LA. And I know, again, even from a lot of our larger players, they because of the opportunity cost of locking up the money, I know a lot of large whales that have kind of been playing that time cost benefit ratio, meaning they're waiting till the very last minute to get in, so they can continue having that money work for them. But yeah, definitely get ready for that and prepare yourself. Obviously not financial advice, and please, please never invest more than you can afford. Obviously, we don't plan on losing anything, but you have to make sure that you're responsible and never, put up your rent money or your mortgage money or the money that your family relies on in a play like this. So, yeah, awesome. All right.
One last
Yeah, good. Yeah,
question, AJ.
absolutely. Yeah.
Is there a chance that between now and the 31st that the presale ends early if that 5 million is hit?
There is. That's a great point, LA. So again, that being said, this could end, tomorrow. I mean, obviously, I don't think we're going to see a ton of volume in that really short amount of time. But yes, there is only so much tokens available. So we are guaranteed 2.5 million. So again, theoretically, it would not end until we're above that. But as long as you're able to submit your payment through the presale, you are guaranteed those tokens. But there may be an edge case where L1X gets a lot of volume in their own presale because they are running concurrently, meaning they're the same pool of allocation is between us and L1X themselves. So there could be a situation where they say, hey, we have $1 million worth of people that came in over the last few days, and now that's 1 million less than would be available for our presale. So just again, we'll do a really good job of keeping all of you in the loop on that. If we see a lot of last minute volume and we think that it will end early, we'll make sure to update everybody on that. But yeah, just be prepared that there is an edge case that we would end before March 31st if they can get to the sellout. So does that help, LA? I don't know if I explained that well. Yeah.
Yep. So it's not always good to wait till the last minute. There's certain things that there's certain reasons to get in right away if you're planning to.
Totally. Yep. Great point, LA. And like to my point earlier about larger whales, waiting to the end. I mean, another strategy, and again, this is not financial advice, but if you're looking to invest, you know, say a larger amount, 10,000, or up to the 50,000 max, maybe you put, you know, half of that in immediately, and then you can let the other half yield for you until the deadline, if you're in other investments. But yeah, definitely don't sit out completely, because if we do end the pre-sale and you haven't put anything in, that would be a bad day for you if you wanted to get in and now you can't. So yeah, and that's the beauty of our pre-sale as well, is that you can deposit multiple times. So as long as it's $100 minimum per deposit, then you're good. And there's a lot of other stuff that's been you know, in the works in terms of rewarding early investors. And I just got an email or message from Machu about this right before the AMA, so I don't want to drop the alpha on today's AMA, but on Thursday's AMA, there may be some really cool perks for those of you that have already gotten in or that are thinking about getting in. So again, not to tease, I'm always the tease, right, LA? Everybody makes fun of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Great.
promise. I don't do it on purpose, I promise. But yeah, there's a lot of awesome stuff in the works. So hopefully we may even have Machu on for a guest appearance on Thursday. But I'll definitely update you all with that. They've done some incredible stuff behind the scenes at L1X, and they are going to be announcing a world's first in terms of what they were able to accomplish on the testnet. And again, there's some perks for those that have already invested that may accompany that announcement. So, again, if you're not on the Discord for L1X, please join that. They're most active over on Discord and their Twitter account. So make sure you're following both of those for the most up-to-date info. So, all right, awesome. Any other questions on stuff, LA, before we move on to a few more updates or anything I should clarify?
I think you're good to move on.
Okay, amazing. I see Crypto Pride said he won 175 bucks in Detonator yesterday. Congrats, Crypto Pride. He's the luckiest dude, I swear. He's always winning either competitions or the lotto, all sorts of good stuff. So congrats, Crypto Pride. And yeah, we'll get into a few more questions here as we go. But we've seen, and I've talked about this again over the last few weeks, but we're really seeing not only a sentiment change in the market overall, but also a sentiment change in EMP. And again, with what's coming with Fusion, the revenue that this DEX can create for us on L1X. Again, for those that may be just listening today, we have been awarded with in conjunction with Dex Finance, the launch Dex of L1X. So just like PancakeSwap is to BNB network or Uniswap is to ETH, we will have the launch Dex of L1X. And with that, that's massive revenue coming into EMP. So you know, that I think is getting people's attention, and it will help us be sustainable long term, even with Fusion, which we're going to talk about next. But Fusion is the first step in that, and then the revenue to back up what we're doing could be, you know, something that we've never seen in DeFi in terms of a passive income platform. And I think the sentiment at EMP is really changing. We had an amazing little article from a guy by the name of Bright Outlook in our VIP group that kind of summed all this up, and I could not agree more. So, basically what it said was, you know, we're seeing a lot of the people that did not have the conviction, and again, I'm trying not to call them bad actors. I'm really trying to break the habit. Because I'm so passionate about EMP, I automatically say they're bad actors. But you know, who knows? It may be life circumstances. It may be, you know, tax ramifications. There's a bunch of different reasons why people would sell, and we have to respect that. You know, that's the beauty of crypto. But that being said, we've seen a lot of the community that is left at EMP really be the diehards, and you know that's helped us set a floor price for EMP, a floor price for eShare, and honestly, I mean we've seen some great results over the last few weeks with eShare and EMP and PEG going up all organically. So and we haven't even started, with Fusion and everything that goes along with that. So that is really, bullish for our protocol and all of us banding together, to make this what we all want it to be. Because again, it is a protocol, it is a community-owned protocol. We could build a bunch of awesome, amazing stuff, but if nobody wants to be here or be involved, then that's up to you guys. So, and I think all of you believe in what we're doing, and see the vision of what is coming. Yeah, a short vision versus a long-term vision. So again, we're excited for all that to come. Those of you that have either already built your positions in EMP by not selling it or buying along the way, are the ones that are really going to benefit from Fusion and get EMP and eShare at rock bottom prices. So again, not financial advice. We could see another dip, absolutely, on EMP and eShare, but all the information is telling us the exact opposite. That we're building a floor, and we've been actually going up over the last few weeks rather than down. So yeah, LA, I know you have your ear to the ground with all this in the community and the sentiment. You want to elaborate on any of that for sure?
Yeah, there's been such a shift over the last, I don't know, 10 to 14 days, let's say. I just feel, let's say 2 weeks of AMAs, like in 2 weeks in the community, I just feel there's so much more positive energy. People are feeling so excited about what's to come. You can just feel the excitement, the buzz, the energy. You can feel it growing. And the more little pieces and nuggets of information that you either intentionally or accidentally let slip out, the more excited that everyone becomes. And as we get closer and closer to the launch of Fusion, I just feel that excitement building. So, yeah, the sentiment is looking strong, and I think it's just about now realizing that this is a community-owned protocol and that we have a lot of the power in our hands. And if we wanted to, we could be back to peg, in a week or two, or in a few days even. It's about banding together and building on momentum. So an object at rest stays at rest, but an object in motion stays in motion. And I don't know if you've ever been working towards a goal or something before, but it's always pretty difficult to get started. But once you're in the swing of things, it's almost too easy to keep going. But if you stop and start a bunch of times, every time you start again, you go through that period at the beginning where it's sort of tough again to get started. And we don't want that to happen with PEG, where we keep going up and down and up and down, and it's tough to get started again. We want to ride that momentum and keep that object in motion. And so if we band together as a community and do what we can, whether that's buying EMP or just not selling your EMP, or doing what you can to spread the word and educate people on how to use their EMP in the system, and do all the little things that we used to do to help encourage our community, it makes a big difference. So
Absolutely. 100% LA. And again, we've been seeing it play out. I mean, you don't have to take our word for it. You can literally see it on the chart. I mean, again, we say, don't stare at the chart every day. I think people get too absorbed in the technical analysis sometimes, but you can't argue with the overall metrics that we've seen. I mean, eShare alone is almost a double from just a few weeks ago. That's a 100% increase. So from 50 to almost 100 now. So all that is amazing. Again, I think that people realize what's coming, and the only way to get amazing positions in the protocol now is to actually either have earned your position by, again, being in the farms or the eShare pool, or having to buy it off the market now. So those are the only two options. And yeah, nobody will be left behind. I know we've had a lot of people ask about, UpEMP or nodes or bonds, or even some of the NFTs. How does that all play into Fusion? Again, we're not really at the point we can release the fine details, but just know, that nobody will be left behind. The two major things you want to focus on right now is accumulating EMP and eShare. Again, whether that's in nodes or UpEMP, that's up to you and your risk tolerance, or what you're most comfortable with in the protocol, or just going right into the farm. EMP ETH LP is earning you eShare. Again, not financial advice, but if you can get credit and earn at the same time, that's an amazing option. So again, to each their own, but nobody will be left behind, and we will have a lot more info on this with absolute fine details as soon as we possibly can. So all the development effort right now is going towards Fusion. We have said all along that we're trying to do this within quarter 1. It's going to be very tight. I don't want to say that we're going to miss quarter 1 as of now. It may still happen. It may be a week or two after. But once we do have a finite date, and again, you have to realize this includes all the back testing, all the, due diligence that we have to do before we go live, because we've never been exploited. We've never had any downtime at EMP, and we don't want to rush something out the door, just to meet a deadline that we set for ourselves. So just continue to be patient, and if anything, look at it as an opportunity to continue to accumulate while we wait for Fusion to happen. And again, this will be the solution for EMP moving forward. We're borrowing a lot of proven ideas that we've seen both through DEX finance, through gamification that we have developed on our own. I mean, we've been working on this for literally months, and once it finally comes to life, I think all of you are going to see, oh my God, like this is such a better solution. And again, once that happens, then I think the floodgates open for even new investors. Obviously, that's the goal, is to make it attractive enough that we get a whole new round of participants in EMP. And even if we don't, because of the revenue that the DEX will provide, and our other revenue streams getting back to PEG, I think that will be massive for the community. And we'll talk about that in a minute here on how that will affect Detonator as well. But anything, I know I went a little out of order here, LA, but anything else on Fusion before we talk about Speakeasy?
I think we're good. Let me just check if there's any questions there.
Vino says, I don't know what's up with UpEMP, but it just keeps going up. Please, somebody help. Yeah, that's awesome, Vino. Yeah, again.
It's been going really nice.
It has. If any of you are not in UpEMP already, you're definitely sleeping on that. There was some talk about converting node emissions to UpEMP, but we think we have a better solution with that in the short term in regards to Fusion. But that being said, the volume is still insane on UpEMP. I mean, we continue to feed some of the rewards from the treasury to that, and we've seen it again. It's up like what, almost 35% from the launch. So again, UpEMP is a very unique contract that is a 5%, I'm sorry, 8% fee going in and out, and because of that, it's always making more the floor price of UpEMP go up, again, being over collateralized with the EMP backing. So if you want to know more about that, please ask in our Telegram or Discord. But yeah, that's another great way to stack your EMP and earn along the way as well. So,
Hmm.
all right, go ahead, LA. Was there one I missed or?
Nope.
All right, so a few more updates here, and then again we'll take some questions. So if you have more questions or anything we haven't gone over, please feel free to type it in YouTube chat. But Speakeasy, again, just an amazing, amazing results from Speakeasy. Uh, for those of you that don't know, Kirk, the one that helped put together our academy, he started his own project called Speakeasy. And, not only is that extremely humbling for me, that we've been able to give other people a platform to do their own thing, and in the process support them, but they bring the funds full circle, and have now invested back into EMP as a revenue stream for their own protocol, which again, no, I don't know about you, but I can count on one hand the amount of DeFi protocols that other business to business protocols are using as revenue streams for their projects. And, EMP is one of those. So, again, Kirk deposited another, what was it, LA? Like 50, he bought another 50,000 EMP off the market,
Yep.
I think. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
That's
absolutely, absolutely awesome. And so, he will be on Thursday, right, LA?
Yep. And word on the street is he's got a big surprise for us.
Oh, I love it. So I might not even know about this. Actually, yeah, I think I do. So yeah, I don't know if he's ready to roll it out yet, but it sounds like he is. So Thursday would be the day. So don't forget to join us on Thursday. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Another surprise in regards to EMP and Speakeasy working together. So yeah, amazing stuff. And we are, again, it's not an official partnership. We are separate protocols, but not only has Kirk invested in EMP, but the Treasury has a full position in Speakeasy as well, and that again, the maximum you can deposit is 20 BNB, and we will be again claiming those rewards every week, and buying and burning EMP with that reward. So again, even though it's not an official partnership, we are reciprocating to support Speakeasy and again what they're doing. So really exciting stuff coming. Make sure you're here for Thursday. Not only the big announcement in regards to what how it will play into EMP alone, but they've also announced some really big stuff on their own. They have from what I understand, it's a casino type setup from Arch Truly, Machine Chan, the same developer behind BCS House, which we are still working on the partner page to be able to give everybody more info on our partners. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of again, it's not what you know, it's who you know. When you get into crypto, and so there's a lot of overflow with really beneficial members of all of our communities trying to help each other. So and Kurt can talk all about that on Thursday for sure. So, all right. Anything else on Speakeasy, LA?
I think you got it.
All right. Bear with me here 1 second. All right. So the last bit of updates here, and then again, I'm happy to take some questions. Is Detonator V3. So again, we've been teasing Detonator V3 for what feels like months now. All the development is going towards Fusion at the moment. Jake and the team that we hired, that's now again part of our core development team, they are working their asses off to get Fusion done. So that being said, Detonator V3 is not on hold, but we're just trying to prioritize the rollout. So it will be coming ASAP. As soon as I have a date on that, I will release it. But we've talked about it at length in other AMAs. The whole point of Detonator version 3 will be a new set of rules that are applied to the Detonator contracts and all Detonator as a service contracts that will really help the sustainability by penalizing those that end up claiming, more than compounding. And so it's always what we've recommended in terms of what's best for you, earning potential wise, and what's best for the protocol. But now, again, we're taking that human error or human element out of it a bit. So with that, again, we have to do a whole new white paper that gives these updates. Um, but really, it will be extremely beneficial for everybody because even those that get into Detonator now, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of comments that say, the pool balance has gone down so much in Detonator that I can't even compound because of the fees. Well, you have to realize that there is a bit of inflation on the fees. What you approve is the maximum fee. So be aware of that. It's not really $3. It's more like 30 cents. But even some of you are still, even at that 30-cent range, you're not making enough to compound. So the short answer on what we're doing to fix that is, Detonator V3. And so it basically will stop the bleed, so to speak, where people will be penalized for claiming too much out of Detonator, and then allow the incentives that we already have in place through the lottery, through the largest depositor prize. The incentives will take over once the floor has been reached. I think people are not going into Detonator anymore as much because they don't see a floor yet. So this is the whole goal of Detonator V3, and you have to remember all of this has absolutely nothing to take into account with Fusion. So once Fusion is live and we are able to regain peg, now you're looking at an LP value that could literally be 5 times the amount that it is right now, and that's not including ETH going up as well. So all of that will make your dollar value in terms of your daily burst absolutely skyrocket. So again, unfortunately, we're seeing a perfect storm at the moment of the pool balance going down, LPs being very low in price, and not a lot of volume in Detonator at all. So it makes it, really, it makes it scary for people. But those that are compounding, or even adding, and again, I know this may be counterintuitive to a lot of people, but those that are actually adding to their position in Detonator and Reactor, they are getting a much larger pool share now because they're buying when everybody's fearful. And that is how, again, wealth is created. So, not financial advice, obviously. It's up to you and your risk tolerance. But a lot of people that have been trying to snipe for Detonator and Reactor or going after the largest depositor prize, that could pay off massively when we see a recovery in those pools. So, yeah. Does that help, LA? I'm happy to go over more of that.
No, but I have a comment.
Hey, Bull, what's up, brother? Hey, I didn't even see you
Yeah.
there. Hey, yep, go
No,
ahead,
you're
Bull.
good. You're good. We've seen this time and time again with Detonator, more so with Detonator because it's been around longer, right? But so many people have been fearful about sniping, given the position or how the market looks. And, I'm just going to point out like how USDC got fudded, what was it, 4 days ago, with SVB, with this bank.
Great comparison. Yeah, go ahead, Bull. Yep.
Look at where the market is, everybody, please. And, I'm by no means an expert, but if we were in a bear market and there was a FUD campaign and a legitimate concern about the state of USDC, would we be seeing a 20%, upswing on BTC in a day? 20% on a altcoin, no big deal. 20%, on Bitcoin, the biggest, right? The biggest market cap of them all. And so in that's a macro example, right? But this micro example, EMP and the detonator. If you don't want to take a chance, and you're going to make your own decisions. I'm not telling anybody to do anything, but don't be the person crying, complaining later down the road saying it's a whales game, because there's plenty of people here who have started with nothing and they took risk, they took time, they invested, like we say, that human capital and that financial capital. There are plenty of people here that invested a few $1,000s and have way more than that now. Why? Because they took the time to educate themselves, believe in the system, believe in the people here, make friends, and and invest in themselves by taking that hard-earned money that they got from delivering pizzas or pumping changing oil at the automotive the garage. But by and large, not everybody here started out a big whale, but there are plenty of people here because they took those steps, believing in themselves. The first step, right? That little bit of energy to tell yourself you're going to fail or you're going to succeed. It's the same amount of energy. But those are the people that when fusion gets put into place, the detonator LP is all of a sudden $125 an LP. These people that sat on the sidelines, I guarantee you will be saying, oh, but it's a whales game. It's a whales game. It's a whales game. And it doesn't matter if 50 different people come forward and say, hey, no, look, I started with $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. And, now I'm number 12 in the detonator, or I'm number 27 or 86 or whatever it might be. It was because they believed in themselves, and not just, blind faith. They put in the effort and figured out how things worked. They invested in, their relationships with other people and said, shit, like I see something here. And like, we've heard it time and time and time again. You guys need to change stuff and be like Project X, Y, and Z. What I call the flavor of the month or the flavor of the week. That always happens. It's the same song and dance. People run to these things. The project disappears. They come back, and a month later, the same type of project comes out. People might say, well, like the APRs are low. Big deal. If it's 0, you can multiply that times 5,000% a day, and it's still 0. Everybody. And so you either you invest in teams or you take a crapshoot and figure out like, oh, okay, whatever happens. And by and large, you're probably going to lose. And so you invest in teams, you invest in people that have a track record, you invest in yourself, first and most importantly. And with that, you're going to find the world in crypto is going to open up for you. And all of the things that look shiny and great, for that week, you're going to figure out and say, oh, that's shit. That's not sustainable. It's not practical. And, we have to invest in things that are better. Like we see it all over DeFi, people running to these projects time after time after time. Yeah, sure. You hear the success story about the person that wins a little bit, wins once in a while, but they don't write the articles about the 1,000 people that lost so that one person could win. And so unless you're that mathematical genius who programs these bots, who knows everything that you need to do to have an edge over everybody else, you need to start looking at things a little bit differently about how you can put in time to invest in yourself so that it pays dividends for you down the road. And we've seen it time and time again here with the people that have done that. You pointed out like Kirk, that's a great example of that. And there are probably 100 other people here just like that. And so they took the time, invest in yourself, and the world of crypto is going to look a lot different for you, just like the world looks a lot different than it did 4 days ago when USDC was at 89 cents and Bitcoin was at 19,000. It's the same thing. It's a macro example and a micro example, but it all starts with the individual. You either know what the heck's going on, or you're going to lose.
Absolutely, Bull. Again, the words of wisdom from Bull, right on time. You're always so timely. You know what needs to be said when it needs to be said, for sure, Bull. And again, I could not agree more. I think the USDC example is absolutely perfect. So to build on Bull's point, you know, uh, how many of you were on crypto Twitter 3 days ago where you see every single person on crypto Twitter was saying, fudding how USDC is going to fail. Oh my God, the peg broke. It's going to zero. You know, just like we saw with Terra Luna a few months before that. And again, Terra Luna was a bit of a different situation because they were not backed by, you know, potentially billions of dollars. And the backing they did have was in Bitcoin, which was the dumbest thing you could ever do because obviously if the crypto market is going down, then Bitcoin's going down. So, you know, I think that people saw that happen to Terra Luna. They had that fear, that uncertainty, and that doubt. And all it took was a media campaign. You know, whether it was intentional or not, that's a little bit conspiracy theory. And again, I don't want to really get into that. I think, you know, personally speaking, I think it was absolutely done purposely. But it drives that FUD, and causes people to make irrational decisions based on emotion. And, you know, if you're going to be an investor in crypto or an investor, period, you have to learn to take your emotions out of the game. And I know that that is extremely hard to do. And that's why, you know, more people fail investing than succeed. And that's because there's a lot of fundamental things that you have to train yourself to do. And so, you know, again, I read an article, somebody tried to dump like $2 million of USDC, forgot to update their slippage, was probably doing it in a panic. They picked the wrong routing that didn't have a lot of liquidity, and they ended up getting like, I think it was like $100 of USDT for that 2 million of USDC. And that is a prime example of why panicking, you know, and making rash decisions can literally destroy you. So, you know, we've seen now USDC recovered. The markets are looking great. You know, whether it's you know, a little carryover from traditional finance with bailouts or whatever, in terms of the banks that kind of started all this FUD. You know, all of it is relative, and I think the more that you're in crypto, you get a very thick skin, so to speak, or you know, or you get battle tested by going through all this. And yeah, I mean, I had multiple six figures of USDC that you know, I didn't even touch because if USDC would have failed, we would have had a lot more problems on our hands, you know, than it breaking peg. I mean, that is what will fundamentally kill crypto, is the death of something like that, or you know, major top 10 coins going under. So and really, even with Luna, I mean, we saw, yeah, it sucked. I mean, we saw, you know, new local lows, but look where we are today. We recovered. And the more time that you're in the market, the more time there is for a recovery. And all of this applies to EMP, you know, as well as any other DeFi project that has, you know, legitimate teams that are continuing to build and to deliver for their communities. And so, you know, don't get shaken out. The only way to realize your losses is to actually sell. As long as you're holding your position, you know, the market will eventually recover. It may not be today, it may not be a month from now, it may not even be a year from now, which I think it will be a year from now, but or less. But that being said, as long as you have the ability to hold, you do see those gains happen. And that's another reason why you shouldn't be over invested in crypto either, because when you're over invested, now there's a hell of a lot more pressure on you to say, oh shit, you know, like I can't afford to lose this, so now I have to make a bunch of crazy decisions that I wouldn't have to make if it wasn't money, you know, that I didn't rely on. So again, I didn't really want to get that far off topic, but Bull brought up a lot of good points. So yeah, anything else you want to add to that, Bull, or LA, or anybody else as we wrap it up here? I don't know, Joe's on. He maybe I don't want to put him on the spot. Joe always has some good insight on this. But yeah, I don't want to put him on the spot if he's not around. I think that was it. I don't know if there was any other questions. LA, was there any other questions while we were going through? Oh, there he is. Joe, what's up, brother?
Yeah, you're funny. It's like you get Jake out of the basement, to put him on the spot, and then
Yep.
you throw him back in the basement.
Exactly.
You summon me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, brother. Yes, it's my
No, but it
my
was good to
superpower.
hear
Yeah.
from Bull. I talked to Bull, on the side, and yeah, he always has a good take on the market because he's not an emotional guy. He's been in crypto a while like you, and he's been through these ups and downs, and he gets it. Like, yeah, even like BNB. I mean, when it fell below 270, I bought a bunch because I'm like, as much FUD that's around CZ, BNB itself is not going to die overnight. I said, this is just a lot of FUD going around. There might be some issues with BUSD. Who knows? I didn't worry about that too much. And yeah, I mean, BNB, I bought a good amount. It recovered. I made 15%. I used that and I loaded up on eShare when it was low. And I've been playing the eShare game for a while because, I mean, even though everyone doesn't know the details of Fusion, you pretty much have given the blueprint, which is EMP is going to be critical. eShare is going to be critical. You have both of those and you'll have a good footing on, having a good share within the Fusion protocol. And it's going to have a lot of good elements to it. You may not know exactly what it is, but you don't need to know. You just need to know what you need to bring to the table, which is those two native coins. And then from there, you can strategize. And yeah, I mean, you brought up the point with with UpEMP. I know we've talked about that. I love nodes. I have a good amount of nodes. But yeah, I said a few weeks ago, I put all my EMP into Up because exactly, it only goes up. And someone did the math and it comes out to 8% tax in, 8% tax out, but the tax is irrelevant. It's all about, how long does it take to pay that tax? And it's about 45 days. So that means after 45 days, you're in full profit as people buy and sell. So I didn't get freaked out by the 8% because what it is mathematically is if after 45 days, it would be like a node paying over 2% a day to get the equivalent because that EMP is liquid, which you couldn't ask for a better position to be ready for Fusion because if you put it in 45 days, Fusion probably won't be here like in 45 days. It could be, but probably not. But the fact that it's liquid means that you can take out chunks of it at a time if needed to roll over into Fusion. But I mean, talk about a perfect timing, perfect setup to have a liquid node that, like I say, liquid EMP, where you're earning the equivalent of over 2% a day, if you actually locked it up in a node. So it's more than just the 0.44, 0.45% a day because of its liquid status. And then, yeah, I mean, Reactor's been great because talk about getting BNB while it was cheap, getting eShare while it's cheap. And now you have both of those in an LP, which you can either break up or keep. So I've been playing the game of breaking my LPs from time to time and getting more eShare when needed and locking those up in the farms to get ready for Fusion. And then I've also played the game of trying to get some more BNB, which acts as more fuel that I can use to buy more eShare and, get ready for Fusion. So there's a lot of ways to play it. And I know it's really hard the way the market's moving, but it's really crazy when you think about it. And you mentioned it, the way how fast USDC dropped and it's nothing changed. It was just people's emotions, so you eliminate the emotion. And then I literally buy red and sell green. I don't try to do TA. I don't try to look at bullish flags or anything like that. I just literally say, okay, it dropped 10%. That's double digits. I'm going to buy a little. It drops another 5%. I'm going to buy a little more. And then I literally just hold it till it recovers. You got to have patience a little bit. And when it recovers, you DCA out and you sell a little bit. And then that constantly gives you a position where you have assets that now give you flexibility of going into what you want, which would be like EMP, L1X, Level X. I mean, whatever it is that you want to do, having that constant diversification really alleviates a lot of stress. And like you said, as long as you don't overinvest and you remove that emotion, I mean, really, DeFi couldn't be a better place for you to earn, even in a bear market.
Absolutely, Joe. Man, thank you, brother. Again, I put you on the spot for a reason, because you always bring the knowledge and the gems, man. So yeah, and to be perfectly fair, and again, Joe can justify this. LA Bull, anybody from the team. Joe has no inside knowledge. I mean, Joe is an army member, and been a long-term supporter, and obviously has some large bags here, and wants to invest in his investment. But there is no, secret info or insider knowledge that Joe has. He literally, everything that he just said is the same, opportunity and the same info that any one of you could have gotten through just paying attention to our AMAs, and knowing, what parts of the ecosystem you should be prioritizing. And, to me, that's very poetic. I know I've said this in some other AMAs. It's what I've loved about seigniorage protocols, and EMP in general is, over the long run, the people that are here for the right reasons. Again, I'm trying to break my habit of saying good actors and bad actors, but the smart money, or the long-term vision participants of EMP, they will be the ones rewarded the most. And I think that is so poetic, in terms of a passive income platform, because that's how it should be. Those that take the risk, and believe in what we're doing and support the protocol, support each other, they deserve to be rewarded. And so that is the whole plan with Fusion, what we're building. Again, Joe mentioned another amazing fundamental difference in Fusion is that we're getting rid of that human emotion or the human element. And that doesn't mean that we're going to be, not the best community in crypto, in terms of human to human relationships. But it does mean that we will no longer be, handcuffed to people that sell EMP, hurting the peg, and hurting the way the protocol operates. And again, USDC is a perfect example to that. Nothing fundamentally changed, other than some FUD, and some bad news in the traditional finance markets. But all that was purely emotionally driven. And so if we can get rid of that emotion completely, that helps the protocol be even more bulletproof, and more sustainable, and pay higher yields over the long run. So again, I could not be more excited for what the future holds, and we just gotta, hopefully get there. Like Joe said, 45 days. Hopefully before then. Most likely not, but we'll give updates as we go. I know we said the end of quarter 1, but we're close. I mean, again, I've said this in some of the other AMAs. The actual smart contract that Fusion functions as is finished. And so right now it's just about testing. It's about implementing the UI, because the user interface, or the way that you interact with Fusion, is very important. Because again, we're trying to make EMP much less complicated than it has been. That's been some great constructive criticism. And again, not to go on a tangent, but I'm a huge fan of constructive criticism. So if you do have something you want to get across, bring a solution, and we'd love to hear it. What isn't helpful is people just saying, one peg, or very broad statements that you do nothing as an individual to help with that. So again, not to go on a tangent, but the whole idea is that we want to make sure Fusion is 100% ready to roll in terms of a great user experience, something very simple, something that's been tested, so there's no potential exploits. And if it takes a few more weeks to make that happen, then that is just the price that we have to pay, so to speak. So, but realize again, all that we're doing gives even more time for you to accumulate EMP and eShare at low prices and earn. I mean, again, the APR with eShare going up, the APR in the farms has actually gone up over the last few days, which again, any APR is good APR. as long as that protocol isn't going to die, and we're far from death at EMP for sure. So again, with everything on the horizon, I could not be more excited for what's coming. So all right, I think that is all the updates. LA, was there any other questions or anything from my notes that I missed?
Will Fusion have an academy before or after launch? You're muted.
Oh, can you hear me now? Sorry. Yeah, I was muted. I'm sorry. Thanks, Ella. So yeah, yes. So yeah. That again, the short answer is yes. I don't know if we're gonna have a full blown
You're muted again, AJ.
Yeah, you're muted again.
Oh, sorry. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Oh man, sorry guys. Oh, jeez.
I have no
Yeah.
idea how that happened.
Yeah, Bull, I love it. Oh, Bull's the best. Oh man, whether he did it or not, right? No, the wheels are falling off at the end of the AMA. So yeah, the short answer is yes. The actual academy will be updated with Fusion because it will be really fundamentally different. So will it happen on a launch of Fusion? That's something that we're still hoping to do internally. Again, Kirk is going to be a little bit, have his hands full. Obviously, he's still committed to helping us, and so yeah, the goal is to have it done ASAP. But we'll go over. I mean, we'll have a full white paper. We'll have a full AMA walkthrough. I mean, there'll be a lot of content. That those of you that are here and paying attention will be able to get in and know what to do with Fusion. And honestly, that also is a bit of a trickle effect, meaning, those that are here now will know how to be experts in Fusion, and then we can scale by having the full academy, and then starting to drive new volume into Fusion. So, yeah, again, hopefully that answers the question, but it will be, and really, that's the whole point of Fusion is that we don't need an academy. And again, that's not saying that we won't have an academy, but the reason we had to have an academy in the first place is because EMP can be so complicated to new users. So the ultimate goal now is that Fusion is so simple and self-explanatory that anybody can get involved and not need, an economic degree or an academy to teach them. So that is again the ultimate goal. And there will be academy regardless. I think it's really important that we continue to educate DeFi users within our protocol, and just to make you a better DeFi user in general. So yeah, great question. I think that was from Mel. Yeah, so thank you. All right, anything else, LA?
Awesome. I think that's it.
Hey, real quick, AJ, I don't know if you mentioned already, but
Yeah, go ahead,
tomorrow,
Joe.
Layer 1X has a hosting something on Twitter, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I believe. So if you want to check that out, they have some major breakthrough that they're going to announce. So I think that's going to be pretty cool to hear what they did.
Yep, yeah, Joe. Is it tomorrow or
Yeah.
Wednesday? Because I know
it's Wednesday Australian time, so you know how
I'm
it is
sorry.
down there. So it's Tuesday night for us. So for everybody in the States.
All right, there you go.
Okay, yeah. It says tomorrow at 9 on the reminder for me. So I got you. You just make sure you check your time zone.
Yes, perfect. So to clarify all that, yeah, and we did mention it a little bit at the top of the podcast or the AMA, Joe. But yeah, it was there is some groundbreaking a groundbreaking thing that that L1X has accomplished that is a first in crypto again, and that will be discussed on at our time again 9 p.m. Eastern U.S. On Tuesday, which is Wednesday, March 15th, 9 a.m. Australian time. So, yeah. Go ahead,
And I'm
Joe.
gonna take a stab that you know what the alpha is, right?
Yeah, so I cannot
We
confirm.
know.
Man, you can't
Oh,
hide anything
Joe,
from
I
AJ.
know, Joe. Oh, I cannot confirm nor deny. But yes, I again, just put it this way: you guys want to attend that Twitter space. So again, just L1X is doing incredible things, and I wouldn't put my reputation on the line with L1X if I didn't really truly believe in what they're able to accomplish. So yeah, Bull, you want to add to that? Go ahead, man.
Yeah, sure. I'm a little bit biased, but um, you've mentioned with the DAX. I think some people are probably aware of it. I think more people should be aware of it about that first mover advantage, and maybe you can speak more to that, just in general about things. But the reason, especially in crypto, because everybody here, I think, realizes that there can be life-changing gains in crypto, and there's not like the kind of the attachment to that sense is it's not there's life-changing gains in crypto for people who show up late. That's not how it goes. It's for people who show up early, and it's for people who show up early. It is for people who show up day to day, because you don't build things just showing up kind of whenever you want, late, when there's no party to go to after it's over. And so show up to things early, and often, so that you are aware of what goes on. And I would just encourage everybody to, get over there, join the Discord, and be part of something before things happen, because usually, there is some type of bonus for being there early, whatever that means. But make sure you're early there and you're often, and that you're contributing so people know who you are. And I'll just use myself as an example. It's no fun to be in crypto when you do this by yourself. It is no fun to be a fly on the wall. It is no fun to see a whole bunch of people make money because you haven't, participated in, this great social financial experiment that is crypto. And showing up early, showing up often is how people recognize you. Um, showing up and being there when something has that first mover advantage, when it's something nobody has ever seen before. Just like kind of Bitcoin was the OG, there's always going to be first moments in crypto, but obviously some are more important than others. But be to thing, be to things early, because that's where you learn, that's where you meet, and that's where you get that reward in crypto. Life-changing gains for the people who show up early, for the people who show up often. So that's all. And maybe you can speak to that first mover thing.
Yeah, absolutely, Bull. Again, man, and it's second nature to us that have been in crypto for a long time, but I know a lot of you have not. Maybe a year, maybe EMP is your first protocol, and again, we say it all the time, jokingly, but you have no idea how lucky you are, and that's not an egotistical thing to say. It's that you're in a safe haven here at EMP. A lot of other people's first projects, first 10 projects are
And you got
literal.
4 minutes to compound.
All right, thanks, Paul. Yeah, make sure you guys, again, our time is much different now with the daylight savings. But yeah, I mean, the first 10 plays are usually failures in DeFi, which really put you at a disadvantage when you have a lot of money to spend. You're starting out in the hole, and that's why people say, man, crypto sucks. Well, they don't know how to play the game, so to speak. And so, to Bull's point, that is all part of what we're trying to do here at EMP as well. I mean, having the connections and opportunities both inside and outside of our ecosystem. We're building a hive mind or a conglomerate that we're able to bring these sort of opportunities that have been somewhat vetted. That doesn't mean there's no risk by any means. It's about as risky as it gets. But we have done all of our due diligence. We look for plays. Again, there's a lot of other things even we haven't even talked about. I have on my desk for the future, both inside and outside of EMP, that could be massively beneficial to everybody. And all those are possible because of the people that we have assembled here at EMP. I know, we call them the big brain motherfuckers, but they're all, the best and brightest here at EMP. And so, to Bull's point, yeah, I mean, it is a lot of first mover advantage. It's going to play really heavily into the DEX because, we planned on building the DEX on L1X regardless. In the beginning, we were not awarded the launch contract, but, we were going to have a seat at the table regardless. And that's the beautiful part about crypto is that everybody can do their own thing. I mean, there's no gatekeeping. If you want to build the protocol, you build the protocol. It's all decentralized in that way. However, having this now, this first mover advantage through the DEX by being awarded the launch DEX, I mean, those sort of things matter tremendously. And even at a higher level, L1X in general. I can count on one hand the opportunity I've had in 7.5 years of crypto to be part of, a layer one launching like this. Again, the only other one that we all have talked about is Pulse. And, I put multiple six figures into that, and it's been 2.5 years. So it looks like it's getting closer than ever, which is amazing. But there is that huge opportunity cost, and that's really the only opportunity. And Pulse is a copy of ETH. It's an EVM copy, which again, L1X is completely new tech that crypto has never seen before and solves, a ton of things that Pulse will never be able to solve, And so, and again, I think Pulse will make up for it because they have an incredible community, and they'll make up for it in that way. But you can't argue that Pulse is just a faster version of Ethereum. L1X is fundamentally different on every level in terms of adoption and innovation, which again just gets me even more excited. And really, all the gains I've made personally in crypto, I know a lot of you know this that follow. One of the largest gains in crypto I've ever had was with Splinterlands, and that was turning about $10,000 into over $1 million at the height of the last bull run, and that was because I was involved with Splinterlands in the very beginning. I mean, we were there before there was even a game. Again, a lot of people don't know this, but you were just buying cards. They didn't actually have a playable game in the beginning, and so we were able to go. And the reason that I spent 10 grand to begin with was because I believed in the team and I believed in the vision of Matt and Aggie, the two co-founders of Splinterlands. And again, all the fundamentals that we talk about. You believe in a team, you believe in a project, and then you help see that project to the finish line, and that's when you get gains, beyond your wildest dreams. So, yeah, I hope that helps people get into a better mindset. And again, this is not just fluff. This is what has happened in the real world. This is just not talk. This is backed up by actual, events that have gone through. So I hope all of you can kind of take that into account and apply it to your own crypto journey and what we see. And I think again, L1X is vital in all that. So yeah, big news coming from them. Again, we'll do a tweet, but join their Discord as well. We'll do a tweet and a social post with their Twitter space tomorrow with that big news. And around that big news, if you've already invested into L1X or plan on doing so before they make that announcement, you will have some extra perks. So again, a little birdie told me about that. So I don't want to ruin the surprise, but we'll be making an announcement on that too. So again, lots of awesome stuff happening. But all right, cool. I think that's it then. We'll wrap it up there. Anything else, LA, again, that I may have missed in the last few minutes here?
Vino was asking if there was a plan for UpESHARE.
Ooh, again, Vino always, uh, Vino's always scheming. I love it. So yeah, I mean that is something that we talked about, even in the very beginning when we launched UpEMP. Um, and so the short answer is there's nothing on the immediate roadmap, but it is something that we, have an iron in the fire about. So Fusion, again, after Fusion is launched, that the UpESHARE could be even more powerful, because again, once we say how eShare fits into Fusion, I think it's going to be, an amazing day for eShare. So, but yeah, that is something we're discussing, but it's not on the roadmap as of right now. So, if it does happen, it will be after Fusion. Great question, Vino. Always appreciate your you know how to you have the best Vino's the best at the leading question. So yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
I think that's it. I don't see any other questions popping up here.
All right, awesome. Well, yeah, and again, we'll do an update on Thursday. Vino, speaking of Vino, he has taken a position as our guild master over on Magic World. So maybe we'll probably get an update from him on Thursday. I know he's been busy with work. So we'll bring him on Thursday. What else? Speakeasy, right, LA? Kirk will be Thursday as well.
Yep. Yep. Kirk will be joining us on Thursday with a special surprise.
Perfect. And then yeah, we may also I'll try to get Machu or at least have Machu speak to me before that AMA to give you guys some more updates with L1X specifically. So all right, awesome. Well, again, everybody, appreciate all the love and support and the dedication. We're in this together. Failure is not an option. We're doing everything we can to deliver on everything we've said from day one. And I think, again, over the next few weeks to months, there'll be real results that we have been wanting for a long time. So continue to have some patience, continue to accumulate, or at the very least, don't sell EMP and eShare at what we feel is the bottom. Continue to accumulate for Fusion and get excited for what we have coming. Yeah. Go ahead, Ellie. Any final words?
Let's ride that wicked wave of momentum all the way to the shore.
Absolutely. I love it. 100%. All right. And Bull, any last words? Oh, I think he's already gone. Oh, there he is. Go
No, I'm
ahead,
here.
Bull. Yeah, go
All
ahead.
good. All good, man. Nope.
All
All
right.
good, guys.
All right. Awesome, brother. All right, everybody. On that note, we're going to wrap it up. Again, we'll see you on Thursday at 6:45 Eastern. Again, it's an hour difference with the crazy American daylight savings time. But yeah, after this week, it should be in everybody's routine. And so, remember, it also applies to Detonator and Reactor. I know some people missed the rollover a few days ago when it switched. But now everything should be good to go. So, all right. I appreciate all of you. Good night. Good day. We'll see you on Thursday.